a quick turnaround for the Minnesota Wild with a early start here, 5 o'clock Central Time. 3 o'clock, of course, back in the Bay Area. See how the Wild fare on short rest. Sharks had yesterday off, didn't practice either. Should be good to go. As Johansson brings it in for Minnesota. Marcus Johansson had 2 of their goals, both of their goals in that loss to Utah yesterday evening. As Alex Wennberg carries in for the Sharks, he's checked on the near boards. The captain, Jared Spurgeon, as Kaprizov comes in. Kirill Kaprizov coming in with 5 goals, 11 points on the season, so he's averaging over a point per game. Missed half of last year due to an injury, so will play center ice between Graf and Adam Gaudette. And of course, the other news, if you want to call it that, is Askarov is getting a second straight start. First time for him, in fact, for either of the Sharks goalies, as they've been alternating since game 1 of the season. Puck out to Dmitry Orlov. He'll send it back in. Brock Faber with a steal. And then the hard pass hit.
High risk or soft plays in the neutral zone. And this is easier said than done. Stay out of the penalty box. 6 penalties last game. That is about 6 penalties too many.
Sharks 1-2 on this road trip. The victory coming in that wild one, no pun intended, in New York against the Rangers. Minnesota just coming off a 5-game road trip where they only won once. They've now lost 2 straight. Goldie sending it back into his own zone for Jonas Brodin. The Wild are a little banged up. Marcus Foligno injured last night. He's out of the lineup. Matthew Carello and Nico Stern also sidelined for Minnesota. Sharks still missing a couple key pieces on defense. Shakir Mukhamadullin, who did not play on this trip, and neither did John Klingberg. Thought maybe Klingberg would be ready by today. He did travel on this trip, but he is not in the lineup this afternoon for Ryan Warsofsky. A shot to the net, 2018. There's another Hobie winner in the building too, Michael Celebrini. There's that shot from the left point side by Sam Dickinson got through. Wallstedt with another save as Landry is put down behind the net by David Jiricek. Now Reeves with a steal for the Sharks. And it's picked up by Barclay Goodrow. Sent deep again by Desharnais. Here's Reeves. He absorbs a big hit on the far side from Tyler Pitlick. Reeves, a former Wild forward, spent a couple of seasons here in Minnesota in his journeys around the NHL. Askarov will send it out for Desharnais. And Brodin back skates to his own line. Wild qualified for the playoffs last year, but went down in the first round, eliminated by the Vegas Golden Knights. And here's Kurashev in with Wennberg. Chip pass. Eklund gets it flat out of the corner, back to the front of the net. Wennberg and Kurashev in the vicinity. Faber doesn't clear. Mario Ferraro trying to work it for Wennberg, but the Wild D clean it up and flip it back up the ice. Minnesota's record coming in 3-5-1. Here at home, they're 1-2. As icing's waved up, Jake Middleton, the former Shark blue liner, working at the center. Johansson in now for Kaprizov on this top line for the Wild. Kaprizov, when he was injured last year, had 25 goals in the first 41 games. Celebrini's shot blocked by Spurgeon. And now Smith with the stick lift gets it back off Marco Rossi. Rossi digs back in and works it away from Smitty. Here's Liljegren. It's the first game of the trip. Showed up at Madison Square Garden, good to go, and the Sharks won. Celebrini. His shot blocked by Joel Eriksson Ek and out of play.
Got to give management credit for the way that they worked with him last year, those development days, and they slow walked him. And once he got into the lineup on a regular basis, he absolutely took off points-wise. And the one thing about Will, he's got a confidence and a drive that is impressive.
Wennberg's pass picked off by Trenyon. Now gloved down on the far side. A play to the net. Trenyon was there On the hard pass from Vinny Hinostroza.
Vinny Hinostroza, as you can see, can really skate.
Kurashev.
Penalty coming up to Wenberg. Right by the boards, I do believe. Holds or a hook or something like that. Oh no, I'm wrong. Sorry. It's going to Hinostroza.
Minnesota, number 18, 2-minute minor, interference.
Here. Hey, Sharks will take it.
47.
Minor penalty.
Penalty.
Number 18, Vinny Hinostroza.
Sharks with the power play.
Interference.
7 power play goals on the year.
It's a Holford criminal defense.
Orlov. Eklund back from Toffoli. Looking back door. And Wallstead kept it out. Will Smith just waiting for it to get through. It almost did. Quick re-entry, and Eklund's got it again. Minnesota's had penalty kill trouble this year, and last year they were near the bottom. Celebrini. Eklund looking at the net. Good play by Eklund, he scores! William Eklund on the pass from Celebrini. It's a power play goal, and the Sharks get the first of the afternoon.
Sharks get a break on this as the puck goes off of Jonas Brodin, but I love the fact that you just take the puck when you get the opportunity, you put pressure on the net. Sometimes power plays early in the game, they kind of relax a little bit. Great job by Tyler Toffoli in front. And look where William Eklund is. Now the key about this, did you see that? Did you see the little stick movement? Watch the stick movement. Look the way he's doing. He's saying, it's gonna go right across. It's gonna go right across. He's actually telegraphing it, what he wants to do with it, because he wants it, and he's got his feet on the goal line, which is key, and then tries to slide it across. It goes off of Grodin's skate and into the net.
So William Eklund, 5 points now on the road trip. That's his second goal. And Celebrini will pick up the primary assist as the Sharks capitalize on the power play. Minnesota's PK coming in as the 29th ranked penalty kill unit in the league. Now another look, Kurashev for Colin Graff. That one took a wicked bounce, but Wallstead had it covered. They're back now into the Shark zone. Sam Dickinson with it there. Orlov gets the other assist on the power play goal as he continues to pile them up. Wenberg. And it's in his skates. Cleared away. Brock Faber over to Zieg Guyen, former first-round draft pick of the Wild back in 24. Outstanding young defenseman from San Diego, California hockey product. And Guyen right now is tied for the rookie scoring lead among defensemen in the NHL with Matthew Schaefer of the Devils, who we saw a couple of nights ago on this trip. Ferraro trying to swing that around for Celebrini. Checked by Kaprizov.
That's the referee saying, let's go, let's go. They don't blow the whistle for this anymore.
Work it out. You got to work it out.
Got to work it out. You tell your kids that every day.
Figure it out. You figure it out. Kaprizov, bad bounce for the Sharks. Guyen and his pass, if that's what it was, blocked by Tyler Toffoli. Looked more like a shot. Kaprizov looking for Rossi. Sharks get it back, and now Celebrini. He'll work to center ice. Hold up there. Now a nice feed by Toffoli for Smith, trying to dangle around the young blue liner Guyen, but it wouldn't work. Rossi back the other way. Johansson in against Orlov. Orlov bodying up, but there'll be a penalty here to the Sharks. Wallstead comes out of the net. Wild get an extra skater on. It's big Matt Boldy. Drops it back for Kaprizov. 6-on-5 here. Blocker saved by Askarov. Control by the Sharks with the puck, so the Wild keep moving it as Kaprizov goes back to the wing with it. Drop pass for Boldy. Celebrini there, and now they will blow it down. Devils. Desharnais with a good start as he clears it out. And now Spurgeon back. The Wild have a dangerous power play. Although on the road trip that they just completed, they went to 12 straight power plays without a goal. They did get one from Johansson last night. Right now ranked 4th in the NHL, almost 31%. And the usual suspects leading them like Kaprizov, who going into the day had 4 power play goals, #1 in the league. Good work out of the corner, but then Ferraro rolls it right up the middle. Kaprizov missed, so did Boldy. And the Sharks got fortunate there.
It actually wasn't a bad plan. Sometimes go up through the middle. He was looking to make the pass and exit the zone, but he couldn't connect on the pass. Good job calling Raff.
Raff digs in, flips it back. Here's Spurgeon. Half the power play expired. Johansson for Bouillon. Bouillon throws on the brakes. Back to Hartman. Now Faber saved by Askarov. And the rebound cleared down the ice by Iorio. Mark Faber, a couple of great offensive years these past 2 seasons from the blue line for Minnesota, but he doesn't have a point yet through 9 games. Slow start for Brock Faber. There's the pass blocked by Wennberg. Back to Faber at the point. Rossi to the goal line. Johansson back for Faber. One-timer. Hartman saved by Askarov. Faber again. Backhand pass blocked by Goodrow. Cleared by Wennberg.
Good save, and the Sharks so far sticks in the right lane, bodies in the right lane, really disrupting the rhythm of power play for a while.
So, 1 kill in the books as Orlov's out of the box. Past the halfway point of this first period. Yakov, Rennie. Now Hinostroza dueling with Dickinson in the corner. Good stick there by Desharnais. And allows Smith to come ahead with Dickinson pinching. Knocked away by Brodin. Hinostroza. And now Brodin leaving it at the blue line. Trenin. That's rejected back up into the high slot. Spurgeon sends it deep. Celebrini retrieves at his own goal line. Lots of open ice, and he'll just take it. Macklin to center. Macklin over the line. Drops it for Toffoli. Tyler Toffoli brings it around the net. A little soft pick by Celebrini for him. Gave him a little more space. And then the pass fumbled by Rosenberg.
Good pickup, Randy. Really smart play by Celebrini away from the puck.
Macklin going across the rink and into the corner for Will Smith. That's rejected by Brodin. Now, Graff back in there. He ties up Brodin. Puck out to Pitlick. He's the replacement for Marcus Foligno in the lineup today. Foligno injured last night in that 6-2 loss to Utah. That one got away from the Wild early. It was Celebrini. They became buddies last year.
Awesome.
Luke's dad said when he started playing hockey, and they live here in Minnesota, when young Luke started to play the game, his dad bought him a pair of Sharks hockey socks. He loved the colors, and he became a fan. Now he's a super fan, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Looked fantastic, doesn't he?
Good work defensively there by Desharnais. He kept Pitlick from getting a scoring chance in front. Now a chance for Goodrow, and that's saved by Wallstedt. Iorio and Ferraro tipped in front away from the net. Mario will hold it in. It skips through to Bouillon. He'll clean it up. And the Wild work it back up the ice to the Sharks line. Vinny Iorio. Been in the lineup every night since the Sharks claimed him off waivers from the Washington Capitals. Here's Eklund. Power play goals in 2 straight games now for Willie Eklund. Iorio. Ferraro again. Shot. Block. Wennberg. Chased by Rossi, and he got it up for Kaprizov. Rossi did. Back for Kirill Kaprizov. Away to Johansson. He looks for Faber, but a good stick there by Eklund.
Excellent.
And then he finds the open man, Iorio. Faber standing up at his own blue line prevented Wennberg from getting it in. Quickly, Kaprizov back for Johansson. Saved by Askarov. And Orlov's got it.
Good challenge by Askarov, well out of the crease to make that save.
Back the other way, Misa for the Sharks. For Gaudette. Misa couldn't corral it. He'll get a chance. Maybe at it again as Liljegren keeps it in. Liljegren walks in, shoots, and Michael Misa scores his first National Hockey League goal.
That's why you go to the net. You talked about Tim Liljegren at the start. Back to the guys in the studio about a guy that had been playing really well for the Sharks on this road trip, and looks a really nice play by Tim Liljegren because he moves his feet. Tim's a very good skater. Nice little move there. Now he's going to take that puck to the net. Boom, goes in there. And then Michael Misa at the net. The key is you're at the net. You know, good hands too with Michael. He goes backhand back to his forehand and then puts it in. I look at that and I think, couple on that. You got to get to the net to score, right? The other aspect is you've got to make sure you take pucks to the net.
Well, the teenagers having a first period here. Celebrini with an assist. Now 18-year-old Michael Misa, Sharks' second overall draft pick this past spring, gets his first goal in the National Hockey League. Congratulations. He had 62 goals in the OHL for the Saginaw Spirit last year. Those were special, but you never forget your first in the show. And Misa's got it. Here it is. The Sharks have a 2-0 lead here on the road in Minnesota. Back comes Macklin Celebrini for Will Smith, and he just missed. Didn't get all of that shot, but it was still trouble for Wallstedt.
Yeah, a little bit of a stick, the defensive stick disrupts that, but a little bit of a change up for Will Smith almost worked.
Here's Toffoli trying to scoop it on goal. He'll recover it on the far side. Checked by Eriksson Ek. Tyler able to get it back to a teammate, and now Celebrini with Smith. Will reaching back for that pass. William gets it back to the Wild. And the natives getting a little restless here in Minnesota. They saw this story unfold last night when, as we said, the Wild fell behind 3-0 to Utah and never did recover. Juracek back. The Wild gave up a first, second, third, and fourth round pick to Columbus for big David Juracek. They really wanted him. Eklund in against Trenyon. And now Juracek will steer it this way. Hartman. Trenyon gets by Dickinson. Has to chase it down to the end boards, though. Good read by Desharnais there to cut in front. Juracek's got it. He's a lot to handle when he's up the ice. And it's finally taken back by Wenberg for the Sharks. Juracek is 6'4", 204. Chance here, but a block by Desharnais, and then snatched out of the air. See that
Scored a playoff goal, remember?
Yes, he did.
Yep. Going to be a penalty right off the face-off.
Where's it going here? Is it
I
going
don't
against Iorio?
I think so.
Vinny Iorio is meandering over to the penalty box, and he'll do the time. Let's listen to the call.
Right off the draw, right side.
San Jose for 22, minor penalty for high sticking.
So
That's tough because Hinostroza is falling as the stick comes up.
and he grabs the stick to protect himself, but the fall is high sticking it, so it's face off. That's a smart play by Hinostroza because he's on his toes, ready to go off that face off, and that's what you want from your forwards to help out, especially in the offensive zone. Get going.
So the way this period has gone for the Wild, to the urgency here on this power play to try and get back in this game.
The Sharks had a good kill to start the game off when they took their first penalty. They've got to have another strong one here.
All the big boys out for the Wild, of course. Boldy, Kaprizov, Ek, Tarasenko, who's now in the bench for the Wild, the two-time Stanley Cup champion. Here's Boldy, loads up, fires. That one off the post. Wow, that had something on it.
Who was in front of the net? Joel Eriksson.
Another large human being at 6'3", 207.
They say he is, well, the stats show that he's the best screener in the game.
Boldy up too high. Ferraro there, but he's got two Minnesota forwards to contend with. Now support arrives. Kurashev gets his nose in there. So does Desharnais.
You don't mind doing this right now for the Sharks. Mario Ferraro doing some heavy lifting down low as well as Vinny Desharnais.
Eriksson Ek, Kaprizov. He'll have to delay now. Long stick there by Desharnais. Ferraro working against Kaprizov. They get it up top for Boldy. One-timer Spurgeon. I think Askarov might have got a piece of that. Game of the year for Minnesota. Faber. Johansson deflected by Orlov. William with it on the far side. Faber. And now Marco Rossi attacking. They score. Great passing play. And Johansson with the power play goal makes it 2-1.
Is the sell jaw. Because the sell is that you're going to the net. Instead, you shoot across the front of the net. And even though you're standing beside a guy, doesn't mean you've got the guy. And look at how Johansson's got the stick there. Now, you think you've got him if you're Chin Liljegren, but that was a shot pass by Rossi. A really nice play, but that's, again, like Michael Lisa's goal. You got to go to the net. You got to be at the net.
Johansson's third goal in the last 2 nights, his 4th of the season. He's 7 games away from 1,000 in his career in the NHL. Wilder back in this now. It's 2-1. Under 3 left here in this opening period. He's out shooting the Wild 10-6.
Assist to number 23.
Faber gets back. This will be icing. So that gets the crowd back into it here after kind of a quiet night for them last night against the Utah Mammoth.
So you've got 2:40 for the Sharks left in this period. Next couple of shifts, get that momentum back going your way.
And Brock Faber, who we talked about, had not been playing power play, but they had him out there on the second unit. Gets his first point of the year. Second assist, Marco Rossi with that pass. Now here's a chance for Kaprizov. Walks in, and they score! And on the very next shift, Marco Rossi ties it for the Wild.
He gets the assist on the power play goal, and then he gets that goal. Nice play by Kirill Kaprizov. It's just a turnover, just a mistake by the Sharks. They look like they're going to be okay. And as the puck comes back up the ice, they misplay it there, and then it's missed at the blue line, and then you're scrambling. Right there. Just can't make the pass. And here, Sam Dickinson's got to go to Kaprizov. He has to. He's got it because Vincent Desharnais was sprawled out trying to knock the puck off Kaprizov's stick, so Sam sees that didn't take, and that leaves Rossi wide open. What a change. Boy, oh boy, the Sharks played a really good first 18 minutes or 17 plus minutes, and now it's a tie game. Nothing that Yaroslav Askarov could do on that one.
Point of the year. And the Wild get right back in and in a hurry. Here's Boldy. He'll play it ahead for Eriksson Ek. Watched by Wenberg, who slows him down. Now Eklund, who scored the first goal of the game, gets it out for Vinny Iorio, and he'll chip in. There's a stick pulled away by Middleton, but it's not called. Here's Philip Kurashev. He slips a check from Spurgeon. A one-timer by Wenberg off target.
Good hustle by Kurashev, continuing to move his feet even after he was checked hard into the boards.
Askarov to the near side for Eklund. Took a bad bounce off his stick. Here's Boldy, and Askarov bails him out with a blocker save. And Juracek will chase back. So the Sharks got away with a...
That's something the San Jose Sharks are still have to work on to try to perfect as best much as they can.
They need just a good solid shift. Hopefully without an icing. But Liljegren's does go all the way back down. 1:15 left in this first period.
Ryan Warsofsky and his coaching staff, those two keys came from them. I talked to them, and they're telling me this is what we need to do to be successful. And it's something that they talk about all the time.
Nice to know they're talking to you again.
Well, actually, I was just listening through the door.
William. And now Liljegren.
1 minute
Here, check.
1 minute.
And a turnover the other way, and now Wenberg. He's got Eklund with him. Wenberg staggering toward the net. No penalty on the play, and the Wild quickly move it up to Kaprizov. He's got Zeev Buyan. Up for the oncoming Hinostroza. Kaprizov lost his footing trying to dart out of the corner. Orlov with half a minute in the period, and Gaudette will punch it in. Wallstedt to this side. Hinostroza checked by Iorio. This one drifts back. Now Dmitry Orlov. He'll cut to the inside, work his way in. Misa shot. Still be sent back to junior, but a year would be burned off their entry-level contracts, and that's unlikely to happen. They're reaching that point where they're probably here for the year. Dickinson a little closer. And that'll do it for the first period. So the Sharks a great start. Set to drop the puck here in St. Paul. Glad you're with us on this Sunday afternoon. Sharks and Wild all even up. Kurashev takes a wrist shot that's turned away by Jesper Wallstedt. As we said, one of the 2 first-round picks in goal here this afternoon. Wallstedt went 20th overall in the 21 draft. Yaroslav Askarov went 11th overall to Nashville back in 2020, and then subsequently was traded to the Sharks. Boldy, watched by Liljegren. Matt Boldy sending it around hard to Kaprizov. Now Brodin from the line. Faber a slap shot. Turned aside. Toffoli gives it back. Turnover to the Sharks. But they get it back, and Celebrini will feed Tyler Toffoli. He'll come across the line and challenge Wallstedt. He took that one up high. And I believe W in all 3 of those encounters last year, as he was the backup to Gustafsson, who's the backup here today.
We were impressed with Gustafsson in New York. He made some big saves, especially in the 3rd period.
The Wild beat the Rangers last Monday night, 3-1 at Madison Square Garden. Then went on to New Jersey and fell to the Devils, and then last night on their first home game back off the trip, lost to Utah. Sharks will see New Jersey, as we just said, on that promo on the alumni night on Thursday. See if they're still on a winning streak by then.
They won again today in overtime against Colorado. 8 in a row now.
Here's a chance for Dellandrea on a feed from Sam Dickinson. Goodrow, nice work in the corner against Spurgeon. Out for Desharnais, and that one just off the target. Trouble for Dickinson, picking it up off the dasher, and now the speedy Hinostroza after it. Fed the net, Trenin, and he'll get a chance, and so will blow Trenin, and Askarov made the save. Trenin had 2 looks there. They come back in offside, and that's fortunate. Would have been 3-on-2.
Wow, this is crazy. This is the Sharks in their own zone. They get scrambling, they get looking, they get turning around. Puck goes to the right guy at the right time for the Minnesota Wild, our friend Trenin. But Vincent Desharnais gets the stick out and then lays down, and he blocks the shot as Yaroslav Askarov is scrambling to do whatever he can to keep it out as well. That might be a key moment in a hockey game we look back on.
Trenin without a goal so far this season. I don't know if he
come any closer than that.
No.
2 pretty good looks. Here's Mario Ferraro. Gave it right back to Kaprizov. Carried out by Marco Rossi. Rossi will turn it back up, and Iorio keeps it away from Kaprizov. Slowed down at center by Toffoli, as Wallstedt comes out to play it to Brock Faber. Brodin under pressure from Will Smith. Now it's Johansson to Kaprizov. Johansson a slapper and got it to the stick of Rossi in front over the net. Slowed down by Smith. Iorio will wrist it in. Quick change for the Sharks while Celebrini tries to control it on the boards. Lost his edge. Kaprizov then bumped by Eklund, but he worked it to Brodin. Rossi to the boards. Good thing he didn't put it into the feet of Brodin. Would have been a penalty. He was on his way off.
It's always the case, right?
Check turns. And where is that one? It's in Eklund's gear. He didn't realize it for a moment. Here's Bouillon back up to center. Bouillon made his debut in the playoffs last year for the Wild in that first round against the Vegas Golden Knights. And then he went to the World Championships where he played with Will Smith under head coach Ryan Warsofsky, and they won the gold medal. He's already won 2 gold medals at the World Juniors for Team USA. The 19-year-old Bouillon. As he'll chase it back out to center, leaves it for Jiricek. Liljegren turning back as Kurashev at center. Bouillon controls again. Here comes Yves Bouillon. Moves his way in. The pass for Pitlick. And Orlov will send it clear back into the Minnesota zone.
Wild putting more pressure on the San Jose Sharks, and the Sharks having some trouble making a play with the puck.
Orlov. And now Liljegren. Trying to time it for Graf, and he got to it. Chipped in by Wenberg. He'll peel off. Sharks will change. Four-checker Graf trying to get that away from Middleton. Couldn't. Now knocked down at center. Boldy. It'll reach Spurgeon, but Minnesota is offside. This game's available to stream on the NBC Sports app for mobile and tablet. Stream the Sharks on the go wherever you are. Brought to you by Toyota. Sharks will head home right after this game. Get in at a decent hour, probably before midnight Pacific, with the gaining of a couple of hours of time, and then host the LA Kings on Tuesday at 8. That's on ESPN. 2-2 here in the second. Sharks scored the first 2 from Eklund and Nysa, his first in the NHL. And then the Wild got the next 2. Johansson and Rossi. Joel Eriksson Ek trying to stretch it out for Boldy. Boldy with the long reach, still able to get to it, and a great save by Askarov off Tarasenko. Boldy again, Tarasenko unguarded out front. Now they get a body there. And Spurgeon tries to control it. A bouncer taken away from him by Misa. Nice little give for Gaudette, who lifts it to center. Eriksson back in. From the angle, handled by Askarov. As Iario's put to the board. Boldy wrapped up by Gaudette. Boldy led the Wild last year, of course, with the injuries to Kaprizov and Rossi and others. Eriksson gave him the opportunity to lead the offense, and he did. 73 points last year for Boldy.
Got to hurry on this change.
Sharks do get to it, but now Trenin with it again. He's bumped by Reeves. Hartman fanning on his shot, and Ryan Reeves will lug it out to center ice. Trenin stopped by Graf, back checking Dellandrea.
Nice.
Stick handle through traffic. Faber, the indirect for Ryan Hartman. Hartman on net, snatched with his glove and held by Yaroslav Askarov. Face-off controlled by the Sharks. Liljegren for Alex Wenberg. 2-2 game, all the goals scored in the first. Wenberg knocks it down, he'll chase it down, but Middleton makes the play up the boards for Kaprizov. Marco Rossi, Austrian-born forward. Kaprizov, back for Middleton. He gave it away to Liljegren. Stripped away by Kaprizov. Knocked away by Orlov. bobbled back into the Shark zone, and Liljegren reached around by Middleton. Now fanned on by Kaprizov, swung to this side. Spurgeon trying to get there to keep it in. He did. Now Rossi harassed by Wenberg. Orlov with time. He'll steer it ahead, and he's got Kurashev. 2-on-1. Kurashev, the pass! And Wallstedt shut the door. Eklund trying to tuck it in for his second of the game. Celebrini, he'll slide it deep for Phil Kurashev. A one-timer by Smith, and his stick betrayed him at the worst possible moment.
Certainly did.
Kaprizov, end of a long shift. Trying to get around Vinny Desharnais. Might have been better off to try and go between his legs.
I just like how Vinny Desharnais has been playing.
Kaprizov from behind the San Jose net. Centering pass. That shot by Ekblad. Here's Toffoli. Goes across the rink for Celebrini. Eklund checked by Faber. To go after it. There's a shot from the boards. 2 goals, 8 points for Smith. This is game 9 of the Sharks season, and one more, kind of the 10-game mark. You tend to take stock. How has our season started?
I'll be able to make a lot of plays.
Here's Smith. Loads up. That's blocked by Brodin. Back to Will Smith. Trying to go to Foley. Hartman intercepts that. And they go offside, the Wild do. Oracle Parks 10.
It would be. It would be very. You do a mini putt game, or,
Yeah.
you know, mini golf game.
Oh, hockey and golf, those don't blend well. Golf in hockey usually means it's the end of the season, right? Back in our studio, Alex Stalock, the Minnesota native, will join us in our second intermission here. It's been fun having him on the road this trip. Dickinson through the crease looking for Misa. That kicks all the way back to the blue line, and a race now, and Desharnais there ahead of Hinostroza. Vinny battling. Stolen behind the net by Hartman. He'll rim it up top. William to Juracek. He dangles, gives it away. Now Graff with Misa, and they're 2-on-1. Colin Graff skates in and shot it wide. He made the move, thought he had. Wallstedt down and out.
He made the right move too.
Orlov, Liljegren, he'll shoot it into traffic. It falls. Graff can't get to it. And now Hinostroza has it stripped away by Liljegren.
So close to taking the lead, like in New Jersey. He had a chance to tie it. Wasn't able to get it done, but that was a very good play.
Faber gives it away to Kurashev. He slides one through for Eklund. William Eklund drives it off the back of the boards at the side of the net. Jake Middleton. Kept in by Wenberg. Middleton and Wenberg pinned up along the boards. Puck comes out for a moment. Now back into the feet of Wenberg. Kaprizov extracts it. Picked away by Kurashev. And Eklund scores! William Eklund, his second of the afternoon. And the Sharks have their second lead today.
Just hard work and shift, right? Hard work on the corner. Coaches talk about one-on-one battles all the time, one-on-one situations all the time. The key on this play, right there by Kurashev, getting up and above the puck. As that play comes out of the corner, Kurashev gets above the play. We hear it all the time. You got to get back above the puck when you lose it. And then William Eklund reads, goes straight to the net. There you go. The Sharks needed that. It was just through hard work and smarts. The San Jose takes the lead.
So William Eklund with his 4th of the season, having himself a great second half of this road trip. And the 3 assists at the Garden on Tuesday night. Thursday, they score again! The Sharks with 2 quick ones. And they've opened up a 2-goal lead. Ryan Reeves with his 2nd of the season.
Hard work again on the forecheck. They just
Keep it simple. They work down low. Look at the hard work. First off by Barclay Goodrow. Then Barclay gets it, turns, fires. Ryan Reeves, what does he do? He goes from the behind the net after working that puck loose. This is a perfect look at it. Watch this. Get in, help out, support. Get that puck, get working on it. Now roll off the man, beat your man to the front of the net, and then go to the front of the net with your stick down. Beautiful job by Ryan Reeves and Barclay Goodrow on the forecheck, and the Sharks take a quick 4-2 lead.
In his 35 games last year with Toronto, but the season before that with the Leafs, he had 4 goals. So Ryan Reeves helps the Sharks reestablish a 2-goal lead. Shot from the wing, falls to Gaudette, and Graff will chip it clear. The Sharks with 2 quickies. Go ahead 4-2. Here's Misa. And that one had a chance as it went through the blue paint. Tarasenko gets it in for Minnesota. Drags it to the net, trying to work it for Boldy. Here's Misa in transition. The defenseman Iorio joining him on the rush, but Ek got it away. Then given away, Ferraro wanted Smith coming in, knocked down. Here's Iorio again. He'll load up and shoot it. Wallstead made the save. Iorio bidding for his first NHL goal there.
And Dellandrea at 11.
As it's settled by Tim Liljegren. 4-2 Sharks. Goodrow and Dellandrea.
Powers, my friend.
4-2 Sharks. Just over 7 to go here in the second. Orlov gets it away from Hartman. He'll come in. Then Celebrini trying to find a way to get it past Wallstead. Hinostroza saved by Askarov. The rebound over the net. Hinostroza slips a check. And a penalty coming up to Orlov. Tripping the call.
Same penalty he took in New Jersey. He has a tendency to get that leg out. Good save right there. It was a scramble at the net, and now the comeback. Pass across, a shot. Good save there. They've been getting called for about a year and a half now.
The Wild got their momentum when it was 2-0 through a power play. The Sharks have learned their lesson. See if they can kill this one. Tarasenko for Spurgeon. Into Kaprizov, partially fans. Askarov gets his glove over the puck. Off the draw. Toronto trying to strip it away from Matt Boldy. Kirill Kaprizov with the puck. Spurgeon. And now Boldy. His pass to Tarasenko. It went up high, and Tarasenko tried to punt it out of the air. This one bounces toward the net. It's cleared down by Goodrow.
Got to hurry on the change. Get 2 guys off. Now you got all 4.
Kaprizov hands it off. Now Boldy sets up from the half board. Gets it back from Kirill the Thrill. This is from behind the net, back up top. Boldy for Eriksson Ek, poked away and out. Nice play by Graff.
Smart play by Colin Graff.
Continues to be one of the most consistent penalty killers early in this season.
Great start to his season. Very impressive. Ooh, that was close.
Just kept in by Boldy. Now Eriksson Ek. Tarasenko back up top. Boldy a shot. That one's blocked up and out of play.
Celebrini with Goodrow, and you put Celebrini out there because it's now.
This one gets right to Brock Faber. He'll load up. Dish to his left. Drop pass back to Faber, and that deflects just wide. And Ferraro able to clear it all the way down. That'll get Orlov clean out of the penalty box. And the Sharks kill off the penalty.
And Markley will change now, and now Celebrini's entire line will be out with Toffoli and Smith. Oh no, Wenberg's up. Excuse me. Wenberg and Kurashev. So Ryan Warsawski mixing it up.
Darnay, but Faber intercepts. William looking against Celebrini. Then he ran into Mario Ferraro, who threw off the hip, slowed down Bouillon. Kicked out of the scrum by Wenberg, and now it comes free to Macklin Celebrini. He'll take it down the left wing side against Bouillon. Fed it through for Wenberg, tried to hit Kurashev on the wing, but it went on his skate. Eklund, he's got it ahead to Wenberg. To Kurashev, now to Wenberg. Eklund behind the net. A squirm away from Zeev Bouillon. Dickinson, a slap shot that hit Hartman's stick. Now Wenberg to the corner, and it's taken back by the Wild's Danila Yurov. Here's Yurov, scored his first NHL goal at Madison Square Garden last Monday night for Minnesota. Dickinson can't handle the exit pass and slapped back in by Spurgeon. Here come the Wild with their fourth line on. That's Jones with a snapshot. Brodin wide. Spurgeon wins the board battle. Yurov deflected on net and saved by Askarov. That was Pitlick getting his stick on that. Yurov again loads up from the blue line up top. Broken up by Dickinson. He'll take a pass to center ice. Buys some time, slides it deep as the Sharks need a change.
Survives some pressure there, and a really good save by Yaroslav Askarov.
There's Brodin. Over to Yurov. And Yurov just dumps it in. It's handled by Askarov.
Yes.
Smith for Celebrini. Macklin in. Backs away. Looks for a teammate. And that was Iorio, and he lost his stick.
Made a change though.
Faber walks in, blocked by Askarov. Hartman, a slapper there by Trenin, and he missed. Hartman, Trenyan again, and that'll come off the far boards, kept in by Faber. Orlov keeps it away from Trenyan. Under 2 to play here in the second period. Sharks with 2 goals in each period and 2 goals today from William Eklund. Hinostroza fires it around to the far side. Rossi to the blue line. Bouillon. And now Hinostroza. Jiricek. He'll take it. Go to the other side. Johansson just stepping on the ice, and he's got it. Marcus Johansson. All the way to the high slot. Bouillon takes the feed. Then a shot fired toward the net. Rossi will pick it up off the back dasher. To Jiricek up top. Now Johansson. Kaprizov.
Final minute of play in the
Johansson.
second period.
And it's saved by Askarov. Misa trying to clean it up. The goaltender's going to handle it. Comes back to the net, but safely played by Kraft, but he can't hang on. Now Ferraro will lift it to the line, not out. Jiricek keeps it in. Here's a shot from the wing that goes wide. Jiricek clubs it back down. The pressure stays on. Bouillon. Kaprizov twirls away from Ferraro. Zeev Bouillon. And he couldn't find Jiricek, and the puck leaves the zone. Thankfully for the Sharks, but they can't really get a change, as the Wild do. Spurgeon gave it away to Misa, and Misa's able to play it across the blue line. 5 seconds to go. Here's Kaprizov, checked along the near boards by Orlov, and that'll do it as the Sharks survive. No Adam Gaudette for the rest of this one. Sharks say he has suffered an upper body injury and will not return. So the Sharks will do it without one of his better forwards so far this season. Gaudette's been impressive. Here's Middleton as we start the third, and Askarov knocks it away with the glove. Puck is up against Vinny Iorio. He goes down. Wild end up with it. Johansson leaves it for Kaprizov. He pulled it back and was stripped off his stick. He gets it back, wheels it to the far boards. Now Kaprizov behind the net again. Out for Rossi. Middleton. Johansson looks to the inside. That gets to Kaprizov eventually. Trying to switch with Middleton, and the Sharks clear it out.
That all starts with a play at the offensive blue line. William Eklund goes backhand, no look to the middle, and it goes all the way down. And now the Wild have pressure on the Sharks.
There's a shot by Eriksson Ek, and a chance in front on the rebound. Toffoli kind of wrestled it away, not cleanly. Tarasenko plays it ahead, and he'll keep it in at the point. Toffoli able to scoop that out. The Wild have had the puck for the better part of the last minute and a half. Smith trying to fillet that out, and he couldn't. Askarov down for Liljegren. Back across, and now Orlov's got it to Toffoli. Here's Celebrini to center. Macklin trying to get a shot away, lost the puck. Will Smith's got it. This is blocked. Loose in front. Celebrini a scoop. Smith's there. Puck available. Will Smith trying to find Graf cutting through traffic. Desharnais trying to keep it in. Eriksson Ek falling as he lunges out at the puck. Here's Graf in for Eklund, who lost it to Tarasenko. Hinostroza as the Wild change up behind him. Trenyan, far side. Nysa trying to find Dickinson. It's turned over. Hinostroza to Jake Middleton. Checked by Desharnais. Now back to Ryan Hartman. He's slowed down by Eklund, but moves it to Middleton. Jake Middleton loads up. A wrister blocked by Nysa. Still alive for Minnesota. In the corner, Hinostroza checked by Desharnais. Middleton steps up. Sharks get it. Here's Graf. He's got Dickinson joining the rush. Here's Dickinson for Graf, and he couldn't pull the trigger.
A good defensive play by Jared Spurgeon stops a goal. Geez, Colin Graf's been close.
Tries to get it back again, but we've got a slashing penalty coming to San Jose. Shot Spurgeon, Tarasenko, Eriksson Ek, and Boldy, and the shot off the post by Spurgeon.
Deflected and up.
Could have been trouble had they been an inch or two the other way. There's a slapper by Spurgeon right off the draw, and Askarov's got it. Wins it back to the line. Spurgeon will get it started for Boldy. He whips one high. Graf with position on Kaprizov, but he can't get it past Spurgeon. And now Kirill Kaprizov to the net for Boldy. Batted down by Eriksson Ek, but he couldn't find the net.
On that rebound opportunity, sure looked close.
Kaprizov again, back for Spurgeon. Spurgeon loads up, pass to Boldy. Into the middle, and that one deflects back to Boldy. Kaprizov. Back away from Graf. Now Collin intercepting the puck. Can't get it out. Diving after it, and Dellandrea will lunge ahead and clear it. Good change by the Sharks on the penalty kill. The Wild come back in. No whistle as Boldy controls. Back to Faber. The pass for Hartman. He scored!
Again, one of our keys to the game was stay out of the penalty box. Shark Snake at the puck out, a little fake shot. Hartman just rolls. He's on the forehand. He rolls to the middle. Really good pass, and Barclay Goodrow can't knock it down. Sharks coaches were looking for a second, thinking that was offside, but does not look like they're going to make the call. And it's a one-goal game again.
4-3 now. 15 and a half to go.
Joined us partway through this game. The Sharks had a 2-0 lead in the first period. Minnesota tied it. Then the Sharks went ahead by 2 a second time, 4-2. And the Wild have climbed back to within 1 again.
Also also, as you mentioned, 4 straight penalties to the San Jose Sharks.
Liljegren to Foley. He headmans it for Will Smith. Smith fighting the puck. Trying to work it for Celebrini. It wouldn't go well. Get it back. Here's Faber. He'll get it across the line and pass Orlov to the corner. Tripped up there by Liljegren. Hinostroza. And that'll come through to Smith. And he wisely clears it down, although it could be icing here. It will be. Hartman, they win it cleanly. Spurgeon back to the line. Trenyon, that'll bounce off a block in front wide. Celebrini just got to that in time. And now the Sharks will get a quick change here. Quick re-entry by the Wild. Here's Boldy, and Askarov made the save off Matt Boldy.
Boldy just got in behind everybody. Sharks got lost in their own zone, didn't pick him up. Good save by Yaroslav Askarov again.
Kaprizov now. Back for Boldy, intercepted by Celebrini. Here's Macklin. Comes to center ice, looking for Kurashev, and it's knocked away.
Penalty coming up to Minnesota Wild is going to be an interference call, I do believe. Jake Middleton on that play as Celebrini's coming up. Jake Middleton on the back check. Doesn't like the call. I haven't seen very many players.
Minnesota's bell number 5. 2 minutes for interference.
Nod their head, go, yep, you're good call, ref.
The first on the power play. Here's Misa. He fired a quick one that's blocked by Brodin.
Middleton of the Wild.
Now Wenberg.
5:59.
Sharks set up Graf down behind the net. For Misa on this side. They'll get it to Graf. Graf walks it ahead. Trying to slip through for Kurashev. Now Wenberg. Graf into the middle, and it goes through the crease and back out to Kurashev. Tim Liljegren for Philip Kurashev. Liljegren stick snaps in half, but it stays into Wenberg. Now Misa from behind the net. His pass tipped by Brodin. Liljegren gets a new stick. Puck comes to the middle, and Boldy will clear it down. Now the number 1 unit making its way onto the ice. Smith with it. Celebrini flanked to his left. It's Eklund on the entry to Celebrini. Back for Smith up top. Swings it to Foley's side. Tyler settles the puck. Back for Orlov. Eklund and now Celebrini. Macklin winds up, fires it. It's blocked by Jiricek. Went through his legs, but he recovers it off the boards. Eklund again. It's Celebrini to Orlov. To Foley. Celebrini. Here's Eklund. And it's saved by Wallstedt. Macklin again scoots away from pressure. Celebrini in for Toffoli. He scores! A power play goal, and it's 5-3.
71, watch this. This is just smart, terrific puck handling and vision. First of all, William Eklund gets to the puck. Now Macklin Celebrini waits for the pressure and then feels it and slides past 2 guys. Then takes the outside route and a no-look pass, but he knew where that right-handed shooter, number 73, was. That play right there slips by 2 guys, and then, boom. How does he get the pass there? How does he know he's there? Because before he even got the puck, he knew where Tyler was going. That's a big goal.
His second primary assist on a power play goal today. And it's 5-3 with 12 minutes left to go in the third. And a puck out of play stops the clock.
Tyler Toffoli has the responsibility to get open.
Another multi-point game for Macklin and Celebrini. Primary assists, both of them. And the Sharks have 2 power play goals to go along with the 2 they've surrendered. So at least they've evened that up.
Yep.
There's a puck that gets through and they score! Over Askarov and in.
we've got another barn burner going here in Minnesota, 5-4.
We saw the Sharks win pucks along the boards and work out for goals. This time, the Minnesota Wild win pucks along the boards and works out. And also, what did they do? They go to the front of the net after the puck. Does that go off of the Shark? It goes off of Ty Dellandrea. Regardless, you have to get traffic to the net. Traffic's at the net. A fortunate break, but the key on that play was
Work on the boards and winning those one-on-one, two-on-two, three-on-three competitions.
Second NHL goal for Zeev Buium. It comes 36 seconds after the Tyler Toffoli goal. So we're up to 9 and counting. Second 5-goal game on this road trip for the Sharks. The other one was at Madison Square Garden in New York, where it was the 6th Shark goal that won it.
Second goal this season for number 8.
Both teams will be talking about that.
Bob Faber had no points this season coming into the game. He's got 2 assists here today. Now Vladimir Tarasenko for Minnesota. Still got it. Works it to the front of the net. Matt Boldy, watched by Celebrini. Eriksson. Dean slaps at one that bounces through, and Askarov with a quick glove hand. Gophers in college hockey. Here's Faber, deflected, and Askarov felt it.
Trying to find it. There's so many guys in front of you.
8 different goal scorers in this game. Hartman. Good job by Eklund, and now Misa back to the point. Shot from there, blocked by Hinostroza. Here's Misa, works it to Eklund, looking for Graff. As Misa gloves it down, gets a rough ride in the corner from Faber. Desharnais will step up for Misa. And this one slapped down the ice by the Wild. And this will be icing against Minnesota with 9:40 left in the third. And for the Wild on the draw. And they will get credit for this one. Trending from center, he'll stuff it down the ice and the Wild get a change. No Adam Gaudette, injured in the second period. Sharks are a forward short. Here's Kaprizov, takes it off the boards, looks for Rossi. Perfectly timed poke there by Iorio. Celebrini in the corner with Smith. Macklin brings it out of the corner. A shot by Toffoli, saved. Here's Johansson. He hands it off for Kaprizov. Shot it from the angle, off the post, and out of play. Back and forth we go on this road trip for Celebrini. 4 goals, 5 assists. At the hat trick at Madison Square Garden. But right now, the victory is all that matters. Sharks with a lead here in the third, 8:40 to go.
That's a smart play by Michael Misa. Get your feet moving. Sorry, William Eklund.
Kaprizov having trouble getting the puck out. He does get it to Eriksson now. Behind the play, Eklund and Kaprizov are going at it for a moment. This is William. He's scoring 5-4 goal. Boldy off the stick of Orlov, drops for Kaprizov behind the net. Ek and William at the point. Away from Kaprizov, Orlov back there as Kaprizov tried to set up a teammate, and William chases it back out to the blue line.
Boy, they are tough. They're so wild around the net.
Boone headmans it for Rossi. Johansson. Sam Dickinson for the Sharks is fighting the puck back there in the corner. And the Wild get it back. Faber for Brodin. On goal, saved by Askarov. Tarasenko was there, but he couldn't find the handle.
I think Vinny Desharnais did a good job on Tarasenko to stop him from getting that puck.
Brodin and now Dickinson. This is kept in by Rossi. Back for Faber. The pressure's on here. Minnesota trying for the tying goal as Brodin's shot is blocked. Misa waiting, he'll flip ahead. Played in by Goodrow for Dellandrea. Ty Dellandrea trying to get to it at the front of the Minnesota net as Wallstedt was running too.
Ty Dellandrea got pushed into him.
Hudson moved off the puck by Toffoli. Now Iorio on this side with Celebrini. Middleton plays it to the goal line. Hartman, who's been good here in the second half of the game for Minnesota. And that's caught by Askarov, winning the draw against Hartman. This one will come all the way back on an icing call against the Sharks.
That shouldn't happen.
Out of the corner, the Wild win the battle, but now Orlov's got a chance to move it out. He and Toffoli were unable to. Boldy shoved by Orlov, trying to get his way to the net. Ran into Liljegren. Spurgeon back for Hartman. Hartman to Hinostroza, whose shot is blocked. Sharks just hanging on by their fingernails right now. It's all Minnesota with the puck. Here's Middleton. That missed. Hinostroza. He'll steer it back up Spurgeon's way. Here's Spurgeon. Poke check by Orlov out front of the net. Celebrini comes away with it. With Will Smith. Macklin to center. And he just sends it in as they needed a line change. Minnesota now ahead on shots 27-24. Johansson. Iorio, but he gives it right back to Brodin. Johansson to the far side. Rossi back for Kaprizov from behind the Sharks net. Kaprizov looks, shoots. Askarov. Kurashev, who gets to the puck, sends it behind the net where it's recovered by the Wild. Turned over to the Sharks and they clear it to center. See Bouillon with it, pressured by Kurashev. That's what you're talking about, right on the puck area.
Keep going, pressure.
Lifted in, and then Orlov ran into Hartman, and Hartman shaken up on the play. Didn't look like Orlov stuck his knee out.
No,
that was just a collision.
He didn't. He was just there.
You can understand the Wild upset because Hartman's hurt. At least shaken up. We don't know how bad it is, but he's still down.
I think he gets him with the hip, but he's right by the Sharks bench.
There's no penalty on the play.
No, the referees did not raise their hands. Yeah, Orlov gets him with the hip. Right? Just as the dump in, just behind him. And there was no call on it. They're going to have a conversation, though, which always concerns me. Let's have a look. See what you think. Come over. Chip in.
Well, it's going to be a penalty, I guess.
We have a major penalty on the play. The play will be
a major penalty to Orlov, and now they're going to review it.
After video review, the penalty has been rescinded. There is no penalty on the play.
There you go.
So I do look at, I think the NHL's made a really smart move having that rule.
So we're back to 5-on-5 play, under 5 minutes to go. A 1-goal lead for the Sharks. No Ryan Hartman for Minnesota, who's arguably been their best player since maybe the start of the second period. So that's a tough break for them to lose him. Eriksson taken back by Desharnais.
Putting those pucks along the boards there. The Minnesota Wild doing a fantastic job on the forecheck.
Lindbergh stick lift on Kaprizov, and Kurashev will lob it clear. Bouillon against Eklund. And he dumps it off to the near wing for Faber, who's in a race with Barclay Goodrow got there. Eriksson for Johansson. Boldy back through, glancing off the glove of Askarov.
Johansson's been good too. That's a good drive to the net, but the Sharks have got to get their feet moving defensively.
Celebrini defending Johansson, and now it's Bouillon back for Faber, and a save by Askarov. Got that one with the blocker. Boldy again, great puck recovery by the Wild. Bullion fans chipped away by Graf.
Oh, Graf good with the stick. Got to be careful here, though. No penalty on that one because the referee even signaled that it was a grab with the stick of Colin Graf.
Tarasenko in. He'll get it back to the line. Jared Spurgeon, a wrister, bounces to Tarasenko, and it's blocked. Eklund looks and clears to center.
Heavy pressure by the Minnesota Wild.
Here's Jake Middleton. He'll send it in from center ice. Ferraro trying to rim it out. Wild have it again. Rossi to this side. Desharnais able to clear it out to center, and we're under 3 to go. Here's Middleton. Comes across the red line at center. This will float in behind the net. Mario Ferraro there. He squirts out to Graf. Then given away by Dellandrea. Eriksson Ek, a shot that's blocked.
Pressure in front again, right in front of Yaroslav Askarov.
There's Hartman back out there.
Hartman was the guy in front.
Rodin launching. Askarov, a glove save. And Eriksson Ek draws it back for Brock Faber. He'll give it to Kaprizov, who scores!
Eriksson Ek deflected it on the Kaprizov shot. It's 5-5.
Talked about face-offs. Face-offs, that's just... Wennberg didn't even have a stick down. And face-off and Eriksson Ek in front, as usual, as we told you, that he is one of the best in the league at getting in front of the net. That's a rather acrobatic deflection, as he's trying to jump out of the way and provide the screen. He does that, and
Now got 2:10 left to try to win it.
Wallstedt was headed off the ice as that puck was entering the Sharks' net.
Second goal of the season for number 14, Jules
Twice today, the Wild had battled back from 2 goals down to tie the game.
Number 97, Karel
Now we're under 2 minutes to go as Eriksson Ek clears it ahead.
And number 7,
And now the Wild come out of their zone as Eriksson Ek is at center with Kaprizov. Kaprizov runs into Ferraro. Iorio with it. He'll give it to Celebrini. Macklin over the line, dishing to the left wing for Eklund. Spurgeon there defensively for Minnesota. Liljegren tried to get it deep, couldn't. Rossi sends it ahead Johansson's way. Kurashev ties up in the corner with Tarasenko shoved to the ice. Here's Rossi. Gets it back through the crease. Nobody there for the Wild. Middleton back to Spurgeon. His shot just off the mark.
1 minute remaining in the
Eklund
third
gets to
period.
it with a minute left. Plays it up the boards for Liljegren. Now on to Wennberg. Alex Wennberg sends it in. Sharks change up behind the play. 5-5 down the stretch here. Middleton rushed to center ice. He'll throw it into the Shark zone where Ferraro is waiting. Toffoli comes to center. Gives it right to Faber. Wild get it back. Here's Boldy. Chips deep toward Kaprizov, who's checked by Ferraro. Celebrini there. And that's kept in with his glove by Faber, but now the Sharks get it out. And Will Smith with the puck. In the zone alone, he'll get it back out of the zone for Celebrini. Macklin fakes. Macklin trying to get to the net, and he lost the puck. Final 10 of regulation. Kaprizov to center. He'll flip one that bounces wide of the Sharks' net. Orlov there to scoop it up the boards, and we'll go to overtime.
Problems here in the corner with Orlov getting targeted by Eriksson Ek after what the Wild forward feels was an illegitimate check on a teammate.
And the Wild will start overtime with the puck. Faber chased by Eklund, who peels away as Brock Faber brings it ahead with Kaprizov and Marco Rossi. Faber Here's Kaprizov with speed down the wing. Brings it around, a centering pass intended for Rossi. Eklund chasing it down. Can't control it on the boards. Wild get it back.
Brock Faber, good speed to check on that play. That squeezed out William Eklund.
Now Kaprizov back skates to facilitate the change. Spurgeon on now, and Matt Boldy as Kaprizov goes off the ice. Eriksson Ek comes on. Sharks still with the same group that started OT. Eriksson Ek in as a peek. Skates back with it. Gives it for Boldy. Boldy against Eklund. Eriksson Ek opening up, but the pass not there for Boldy, who gives it to Spurgeon. Jared Spurgeon back for Eriksson Ek. Spurgeon again with the puck. Eriksson Ek from the corner. Ek and Boldy. Boldy skates away from pressure. Gives it for Faber fresh off the bench. Sharks can't get a change. They've been on since the start of OT. Ek in front. Saved by Askarov.
What a save. What a save.
Ek again. Faber. He'll load up. Drop for Ek. He wants off Ek, and he gives it to Johansson.
Another change right here.
And Kaprizov's on for a second time in overtime. Shot blocked. He's still got it. Shark can't get the puck. Johansson. Kaprizov. Into the slot, Kirill Kaprizov for Johansson. Johansson sends it across. Faber with Kaprizov. Back for Johansson. Cuts to the outside. Centering pass for Faber. He couldn't put it away. Askarov might have gotten a piece of it. Sharks need a stoppage or the puck. One or the other.
They've been out there for almost 3 minutes.
Faber brings it out.
Pressure up, pressure up. Not a bad idea.
Here comes Faber now. Boldy has a look. Loads up. Now Faber will go off for a second time. On comes Spurgeon. Kaprizov to the net for Spurgeon. Now Boldy. Spurgeon. Boldy fumbles the pass. Back for Kaprizov again. Boldy. The entry for Spurgeon. Rossi. Boldy off the goalpost. Their third tonight.
Can't get off. Still can't get off.
Eklund's gonna gamble and go off. Here come the Wild. 3-on-2. Faber saved by Askarov. And a chance now for Eklund. Celebrini in. Scores! What a goal! What a win! Sharks win it in overtime.
Wow! I've never seen an overtime like it.
That is absolutely incredible.
Unbelievable. Macklin Celebrini on only arguably the second time the Sharks had the puck in overtime puts it away. His second OT winner on the road trip, and the Sharks go home with a huge victory.
What an incredible job by Askarov, and a risky move by William Eklund to hustle off, and then Macklin Celebrini hustles on. There's the shot, there's the save. Goodbye, Macklin, but Celebrini takes off. Brock Faber leaves him in the dust, and then boom, quick shot, wins the game. This is absolutely, as you said, Randy, incredible. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a major league, we're gonna win this, I got it moment for Macklin Celebrini. Wow.
His third point of the game, his second overtime goal on the road trip on both occasions at Madison Square Garden, and this afternoon, Celebrini and the Sharks win 6-5 in overtime. That's the final here in Minnesota.